Cocktail Hour Cinema, talking drinks and cinema. We watch and eat some dinner, but we don't show you the dinner. It's Cocktail Hour Cinema.
Cheers, everyone, and welcome to Cocktail Hour Cinema. My name is Brent.
I'm Nico.
And I'm Emily.
And we are a weekly video podcast that talks about movie news, TV shows, movie reviews, etc. Emily, what did you make for us this week?
So our signature cocktail this week is inspired by Nomadland. You can click the link right above me right now for our review on that. But this one, I really took inspiration from the backgrounds and the settings of Nomadland.
It's good.
Lots of like deserts at sunset and sunrise.
It's very good.
So since it's desert themed, we're gonna go with tequila base. You're gonna start out with actually first you're gonna take your glass. You're gonna rim it with a little bit of lemon or lime, whatever you have, and then you're gonna roll probably half of the glass in whatever salt you have. We have a special salt mixture for this one. It's got a little bit of dried lavender in it. It's got dried lemon rind, a couple herbs and spices along with gray salt. So it's really got like a very like desert floor kind of texture to it. Then you're gonna do 2 ounces of tequila. We did a reposado tequila. That's what I would recommend for this. Don't do an añejo or a blanco. Then a half ounce of blackberry liqueur, a half ounce of lemon juice. And then you're going to do 4 like healthy dashes of lavender bitters. You're going to shake that up. You're going to pour it into a coupe or whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. And then we did a special little bar trick where we flamed a lemon rind over it, where you squeeze out the oils under a match. Gives it a little extra something something. Was inspired by a lot of the campfire scenes that take place in Nomadland, and
It went really well. Cue the couple fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, the blackberry syrup gives it this lovely like muted tone that reminded me a lot of the sunrises and sunsets in Nomadland. So I hope you enjoy it.
This drink is Nomadland. Like the vibe, the style, the look.
Say it all the time. Emily fucking knocks it out of the park every week.
Emily is really good at this.
My expectations are so high. I gotta keep
right.
I do it myself.
It's the only reason why we do this podcast, so Emily
Yes.
can make us great drinks every single week.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So today we are going to be talking about Wandavision episode 7 and 8. Mm-hmm. It'll be the second time we talked about episode 7.
We missed y'all last week.
We're a new podcast and we fuck up. So we lost all the audio.
We lost all of the audio for those 2 mics. I can still post it, but it'll just be my voice. And
I had the idea that Brent and I should dub over it, but play each other the entire time.
Right.
I think that would be fun.
It'd be fun, but
if we get to
really
100
time-consuming and
subscribers,
challenging. Yeah,
we got to start doing that more. We got to plug the YouTube shit more.
Actually, you know what? Our
probably.
Patreon will have this episode.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Stay tuned.
We also figured out that we're gonna have bloopers at some point.
Right.
About when I hit our 1 year mark.
Yeah.
We're going to release a blooper video, so maybe that could be a part of the
1
blooper
year
video.
or 100 subscribers, whichever comes first.
1 year will come first.
I don't know, with all the celebrities that follow us.
Oh.
1 year,
that's
100
actually a good one.
subscribers. Yeah.
Okay.
I say 100
right.
subscribers will come first before a year.
Do we have a list of shot bets that are like long-term shot bets?
No, but I mean, I can
We need one.
I can write
Yeah.
this one.
I
Okay.
have some of them written down, but
It should be on the bar top, like the long ones.
that's not
Like
a
the
safe
bucket
place
list
for that.
bar.
You
Okay,
know how
maybe
much
you're
this
right.
bar gets used? It's going to be soaking
Right.
wet.
That's
Okay,
true.
shot bets. This one is when we reach 100 subscribers. I'm
Or
whether
whether a year or 100 comes first.
So if you are watching this and you have not subscribed yet,
I say we all just pick a
please
date.
like and subscribe to this video, please.
I say we all just pick a date. Yeah, please like, please subscribe, please tell your friends.
Right.
I think we should all just pick a date. And then
My
whoever's
birthday
closest.
will be my date.
What's your
December
birthday?
14th.
I should know that. 12/14.
Of
I
Next-
never remember your birthday, so it's
I
fine.
don't remember.
I know it's
anyone's
Earth Day,
birthday.
but
I fucking suck with birthdays.
I'm going to say August 17th of this year.
People are going
Let's-
to lose.
Let's
Price is
move
Right
on
rules.
to the top 3.
WandaVision.
Top 3 movie news of the week, Brents.
yeah.
Movie news.
Learn
What's
the-
going on in Hollywood?
Learn this. Yeah.
What's going on in Hollywood?
Guys,
Oh, I should make a little audio for that.
well, we have the graphic. It's
All right, I'll make a
So
little
what's
audio
going
for
on
that.
in Hollywood, guys?
It'll be a stupid
Yeah.
little sound effects. And shit.
Off the top, we got Pixar Animation Studios has dropped a trailer for the new up-and-coming movie, Call Me By Your Name. Wait, no, hold on. Luca. It's about two two boys coming of age. This is a coming of age story about two boys in the Italian Riviera.
Yeah, sounds like Call Me by Your Name.
You're right.
Is it based off of that La Luna short?
No, it is not. But the father in this film looks exactly like the father in La Luna.
Is it the same? It's the same director, though, isn't it?
It is the same director.
Yeah. I remember you
bet it's
being
a little-
very
I bet
excited.
there's a little brainchild that kind of
Has to be.
happened.
They're
From
like,
one of
we
the
got to
two of
take
them.
that and put him in here just as a little homage to my short that is my favorite Pixar short of
Yeah, I
all
was gonna
time.
say, Nico's
I named
absolute favorite.
named my business after the short. God damn it. So. Yeah.
Well, also it could have doing that short could have just been like a brain seed for him, leading to something else. Like, oh, I really like this. At least some part of the aesthetic.
Some of the aesthetic. Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, also, I feel like Pixar shorts are almost kind of like the G League for Pixar. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this short rocked. We got to get
Yeah.
him back in the starting line. Let him get some action. And La Luna came out a long time ago, so
What was that short with the volcano?
Lava.
Lava. Did you guys know that was actually
Lava.
the G League for Moana?
Shut up.
No,
Shut
it
up.
wasn't.
Shut up.
It did not. No.
No.
'Cause-
Yeah, it was a joke.
oh, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, dude, because that short came out a year before Moana.
Ew.
Maybe the same year
No, it
as
was-
Moana.
no, handful of years before Moana.
Lava came out a handful of years. Shot bet.
Yeah.
I love
Shot bet.
It was at
it was
least
way before.
it was at
Yeah.
least
You're gonna lose
2
this
years before.
At least two.
At least
I
two.
say it's
Oh, not okay. Now we're going to
Yeah, we're
went
doing
from
a
before
shot
to
bet.
after to at least 2 years.
all right. Here we go. Shot bet. I'm
Shot bet.
gonna cut ahead. Okay, we're back. All right. Lava came out, was released in June 19th, 2015. Moana was released November 23rd, 2016.
Oh shit! That came out 2016. Oh my god. So
Cheers, my
All
boy.
right.
I was laughing at the fact that it went from after Moana to 2 years before.
No.
I always said
I
before.
said before.
Oh, okay.
But so in my mind, Moana came out in 2017 because like the New Year's party of 2017 when we
Right.
were all screaming the soundtrack the entire time, that was locked in my brain and I got it wrong. And also, I saw Lava for the first time at a film festival like a year before it came out. So in my brain, they were a lot more spread out. But I will take a shot. Don't worry about it. I mean,
Do you brine if I have
keep that
one
for the
too?
Patreon.
Right. Keep that for the Patreon.
Damn it! No one. You know the feeling when you say a really good pun and no one hears it. And you just gotta sit with it by yourself, and then you debate whether
you can't re-say the pun.
you debate whether to
because you
repeat
lose
it or
the-
not. But you probably shouldn't.
You
Hey,
talk-
do you brine if I have one too?
Do you mind, Brian?
And you regret all of it. You regret it from the start. You regret the middle, and you regret the end. All of it
Soured.
This is
I'm
a
not gonna lend it to
Woodford
you.
Reserve
pickle bitch.
and then
What can I say?
pickle
Pickleback
juice.
bitch.
Oh, it tastes like
Just
Burning
her
Man.
eyes.
So let's talk about Luca. Let's
Yeah.
get back on subject. Luca, which is directed by the La Luna director. Emily, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
It looks really colorful. I at first, like at the first couple shots, I was like, the characters look a little like Wallace and Gromit-y. The like character design was a little weird at first, but then
Right.
the colorfulness of the Italian landscape and everything looked really lovely. And then they give you the little stinger at the end where you're like,
Right.
that's what the story's about. Okay.
Right. Which is kind of opposite of what Brave did, where you're just like, what is the story about? Holy shit, they're bears. Or
Yeah.
the mom's a bear.
Yeah.
I love that they gave you that in this, because otherwise, if you go into this film thinking it's about like this Italian,
You're
these
like,
two
just
boys,
kids being
whatever,
kids for
being
a summer. Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're also sea monsters, it'd be like so jarring and you'd throw you off. I like that they showed that in this.
My
trailer.
opinion of it is that I didn't know it existed, and you guys have obviously talked about it already. And
Well, we saw the sneak peek about it.
I,
at
we sent you the
D23.
trailer.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I should look at my text messages more.
Yeah.
Brent should check his text messages more.
I literally didn't know that was a thing.
In
till
our
right now.
cocktail hour cinema group chat, it is in
That's
there.
like the one group chat that I check everything in, but I guess I didn't. So,
It's there, isn't it?
I think so.
are you sure? I saw
Shut
all the other shit. Oh,
Shot bet,
wait.
is it there?
Oh.
Yes.
How are you? Oh, wait, how sure are you though? Before I make
Not
this bet?
sure.
I fucking guarantee it's there.
Damn it.
Sorry, I'll speak into the mic. I fucking guarantee
actually
that it's
don't
there.
know.
Because it's one of those things where like I really, really would have thought I've seen every single thing that's ever been said in that group chat.
But here's the thing: all three of us are in like 5 different
Yeah, we
group
have, like,
chats of
10
the
group
same.
chats.
I guarantee it's in that group chat. I'm pretty sure you sent it, Nico.
Okay.
All
I
right.
might have sent it to me, you, and producer Ryan's group chat. That we have.
See?
That's
What is
also-
the- what is this? What is this? Why is there a separate
That
group
used
chat?
it used to be our movie time podcast because
walking.
we would go to movies together because we all lived in the same city.
Right, because we used to watch movies together, all just the 3 of us. We all
And
lived
now
in
it
the
has a
same-
different name.
Shot bet.
Yeah.
Shot bet. I bet that it's not in the group chat.
I bet that it is. I will prepare
I
your
bet that
pickleback.
it is as well.
Damn it.
Shot bet.
All right.
Stop it.
God.
It's there?
Ooh, what
it's
was that?
there.
Ooh, bitch.
You know what's annoying? I literally saw everything below it. Those 2 red lights and all the text, all this below it. Everything but that.
Too bad
And the
it's so
thing right
sad.
before it was sent is something that I sent. Like, my text.
Wait, hold on. Take a shot. Gotcha.
It's iPhone's fault.
Mm.
Damn you,
iPhone's
iPhone.
fault, huh?
And we're back. And Brent was wrong. So take your pickleback.
Wrong. Brent was wrong.
I've seen everything in that chat but this.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing.
Yeah. Take your shot. Take your shot. It's true.
It's true. I saw the whole thing.
whole thing.
If there's so many texts in a row, it doesn't show you the whole thing. You have to
Oh,
scroll
whoa,
back.
whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Cat-like reflexes.
So, Brent, what did you think about the Luca trailer?
I'm going to watch it right now.
Oh, my God.
And then we'll cut. I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
Cool. Moving on.
Movie news number 2.
Movie news number 2. All right. So, Spider-Man 3 officially has a new title.
Woo woo.
It's called Spider-Man Home Slice.
I thought it was.
Wait, no. It's Spider-Man Phone Home. Wait, no.
No. It's the other
It's
one.
Spider-Man Home Improvement. Wait, no.
Wait, no. How long is this bit going to go?
Not long
That's it.
enough.
That's all I wrote down. That's all I wrote down. It's called Spider-Man No Way Home. And I love the title.
Yeah.
Only because I've heard so many guesses of what it could be because they're doing this whole, the home thing is in each of the titles. So like there only could be so many ways you could shape a title that has the word home in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like
There's
I've
only so much home improvement.
I've
you
seen
can
100 of them, but No Way Home was not one of them. And I liked it.
Yeah, I remember when they first announced the title for Spider-Man Homecoming, and everyone, myself included, was like, "What? What?"
Wait, I do remember that.
Yeah.
You know what the news was? Sony Pictures, like, they bought the domain Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, they just bought the domain, like, so no one could, like, take it.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, that's not the fucking title of the movie. That's so
yeah, it's
stupid.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Homecoming? What the fuck can that insinuate in terms of, like, drama? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was really just him coming back home to Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's what this home thing is all about. Like,
And him
he's
in
back
high
home at
school,
Marvel.
You know.
Yeah.
like-
Well, yeah, but I really do think it's more about him being at home with the
Right.
parent company that he
Right.
should be with. And I like that they're continuing the home thing. And No Way Home insinuates a lot of what the fuck is happening. Is
Yeah.
he in another dimension? Is he trapped? It just
immediate-
insinuates a lot, you know, in your head.
Yeah, it immediately makes you go like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
so
I
yeah,
love
I'm
it.
excited,
too.
especially with all the multiverse nonsense that
Everything
is
that's going
Yeah,
on
it's
in
so open
WandaVision.
right
I
now.
mean,
It's completely
Feige
open. Yeah.
says that WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2, and this movie are all connected.
Yep.
So what does that mean?
Spooky shit.
Yeah, spooky, weird, multidimensional shenanigans are about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink. Shenanigans was a wink from WandaVision
Oh
episode.
yeah.
Also, multi-dimensional shit is just such an open book. Like,
I love it.
if you really want to leave everything on the table open for anywhere a plot can go, just add dimensions to it.
Yeah. Or time, which they already, you know, Endgame was a
Yeah.
time traveler movie,
Yep.
and
Right.
They're all going to have some element of that
Yeah.
eventually because they have to.
I mean, like the precedent is already set with Marvel in the comics. Like they do all kinds of like this dimension has, you know, this universe has this
Right.
version of this hero, and
That's the
such
only
and
way you
such,
can make
so-
all this shit work. You can't make it work.
it's the only
without
reason
it.
no,
they
that-
can
I
keep
mean,
using
that's
the same
not true.
characters for like 100 years.
my counter argument to that though is that what Marvel set themselves up for is that they can have weird, bonkers, multidimensional shit for one brand of character because like each of their heroes is basically a different brand, a different style of
Yeah.
franchise.
Sure.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier will probably not have multidimensional stuff happening to it.
Yeah.
Black Widow the movie is a Born Identity kind of style movie, and that's probably not gonna have time travel or multi-dimensional stuff. But
they can't do it with
they can-
every movie, or it would get boring.
it's like Marvel's like Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. They have like a flavor for every kind of style of movie there is, and they just play each hero off on its own genre, right? So I don't know. I fucking love Marvel.
Doctor Strange is Moose Tracks because there's a lot going on
Moose
in there.
Tracks.
Guardians of the Galaxy is that bubblegum flavor because it's like really brightly colored. It's really fun.
Moose Tracks. That's hella funny.
I love Moose Tracks.
So do I. Skid marks.
No.
That's what I keep thinking when I hear Moose Tracks.
It's the Ben and Jerry's version.
Right, yeah. Brent, what do you think about the title?
It's fine.
On to the next.
Anyway.
All right, movie news number 3, the last one that we have. Netflix dropped a new trailer for their new zombie action thriller apocalypse movie titled Army of the Dead. Comes from director Zack Snyder, who also did Sucker Punch.
Yeah, they try to hell play it up. They're like the director of Men of Steel,
Right.
and we're like, shut up.
Yeah.
That movie sucks.
Some
That's
people
his
like
best-
it. That's his best movie.
Yeah.
Dude,
Or Watchmen. 300.
Well, I like
300,
Watchmen better.
300 was really good, actually.
I like 300 way better than
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Okay, then
Am
300.
am I on an island here? Is Man of Steel a good movie to?
I haven't seen it in forever. I remember that.
I don't hate Man of Steel,
Yeah, I
but
don't hate it, but I'm
bad.
like, I don't need to watch that. It's,
At the time, I didn't
Superman
like
being
it.
sad. I don't like sad,
Right.
mopey
I don't like
Superman.
Superman. That's probably the main
But
basis
Henry
of my.
Cavill, we
I don't
love.
care.
We
him
love
in,
Henry
he
Cavill
makes
in this
he makes a
house.
great Superman. Also, movie news number 4. J.J. Abrams was just announced. He's producing the Superman reboot.
That makes me
Yeah.
more interested in it.
Right.
Oh, but I'm not really. Okay, go ahead.
Henry Cavill may or may not come back in the role, but they're doing a whole reboot of the franchise.
I'm a big Bad Robot fan. I love J.J. Abrams. He doesn't have a perfect record, but the dude's done a lot of really good shit.
Correct.
Coming off of Rise of Skywalker, I immediately have like a kind of
Right.
taste in my mouth in terms of J.J. Abrams. I think he's great at build. I am not unique in this statement. This is not my own thought. This is my opinion based on like what a fuck ton of people have said. He is great at setting up universes. He's not a good closer. He's your opening
Oh,
pitcher.
yeah, I
he is
agree with
not
that.
a good closer.
I agree with that.
See, what sucks is that everyone has said that,
Yeah.
and I was really rooting for Rise of Skywalker
Me
because
too,
I was
absolutely.
like, yeah, he started Lost. How did that end? Not great.
I was gonna say,
I was like,
bring it back to Lost.
I loved
Right.
I loved Force Awakens. Like, this is so great, and I
Right.
loved Last Jedi. But I was
Right.
like, okay, maybe like we'll round
Bring
it
it
back
home,
around. It'll be
dude.
great.
And I loved Lost.
Right.
I used to have
Yeah.
Lost parties every Wednesday.
I was
Like, that
there. I was at a
we
Lost
were
party.
In, we were in the fucking
I was
Lost hole.
all in, baby.
And it ended and we were like,
Melbourne. Yeah.
okay.
I mean, there was the writers' strike.
Well,
like, also,
it
There was
just-
a lot of elements to it,
Yeah.
but they could have ended
It was just
in
very
4 or 5 seasons.
it was just
and that'd
very
been great.
predictable. It's like that ending was predicted on
They made
like,
it vague
theorists
because
that were
they had-
predicting
The
it in
first
season
season,
1.
yeah.
Yeah, and
They made it vague because they had to, because they wrote themselves into 50 different plot holes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if we go really vague, good and bad, black and white, we're okay.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
think-
very disappointing.
I think the initial pitch for Lost was they're in purgatory or whatever, and then as soon as someone guessed it, they're like, "Oh shit, this was very predictable. Let's just keep writing, and maybe we'll find another solution." And they didn't,
They also
and then
didn't
they
have
just
they didn't
went
have
right
the
back
ending
to it.
written at the beginning. They
I
literally
know.
didn't have it written. So it was like,
Well,
look, we're
I
gonna have
know.
this really good premise of this, and this, and we're gonna have all the special effects and these good actors, and we're gonna it's all be character development, and that worked.
I don't believe
But
that.
then when they got to a point, they're like, okay, well, this has to have some sort of resolution.
yeah.
And then they wrote themselves in a hole. And then they kept using fan fiction to like guide the ship.
Oh,
but
weird.
then
Does JJ
avoid-
listen to the fans too much?
Huh.
Weird.
He definitely didn't do that for Star Wars, though.
Wait.
Get off of
Wait.
Reddit, JJ.
Yeah.
That being said, I like J.J. Abrams a lot. I think he
we're
makes
just
a lot of
on
good
a
shit.
whole. Yeah.
As long as
If there's a good team around him, I think he makes really good shit.
If you guys didn't know, JJ was actually commissioned to do a Superman movie back in like 2008.
who wasn't commissioned to do a fucking Superman
Yeah,
movie?
Kevin
Like,
Smith. You know, the list goes on and on.
Tim
but
Burton was supposed to do
He was
one.
the
Like,
closest.
I'm serious.
George, the guy who did Mad Max Fury
George
Road.
Romero. No, not Romero. Who the fuck?
Costanza.
No, George
Stephanopoulos.
R.R. Martin is not his
No,
name.
no.
George, not
No.
Lucas. George Ramos.
Cue the music.
George of the Jungle.
George Miller.
George Miller. George Miller had a Justice League movie that was greenlit.
Yeah.
It had, like, they basically did, like, all these previs.
That was the Justice League Dark one, wasn't it? Or am I thinking?
No, it was just Justice League. It was a Justice League movie. And
Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do Justice
Armie
League
Hammer
Dark.
was cast
shit.
as Batman.
Oh yeah.
And I think Henry Cavill was cast as
Cavill.
Superman. Doesn't matter.
We like Henry
Didn't
Cavill
happen.
in this house.
Right.
In this house, we like Henry Cavill.
I
Can't wait for Witcher season 2.
I like Witcher a lot.
Yeah.
He won me over.
So Army of the Dead looks awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Going back to Army of the Dead, it looks fucking stupid.
We went so off topic.
We're what, like 20 minutes in? We're
I'm not gonna
way
lie.
off the
There's not a
rails.
lot to say about this trailer or this movie. There's a lot to say around
got Dave
this trailer and
Bautista
this
in
movie.
it.
I think we actually went on topic because we're just talking about Zack Snyder and how all this just kind of like he is a great director, but he has a lot of.
No, he's not.
I don't think he is, but
I think
He's a great music video director.
I was gonna say he would make very good commercials. Very, and also he's a great trailer artist. Although this trailer kind of sucked.
well, the trailer sucked because the movie very clearly sucks. Like, I have nothing against.
Careful.
Oh, true.
I have to knock over the comically large tequila bottle.
It's just so fucking tired.
Right.
Like if it was a regurgitated plot but done in like a really uniquely stylistic way, or with a really great cast, or with fucking Spielberg at the helm or some shit, I could maybe get around it. But it's like, okay, there's literally not one thing about that preview.
It feels
that
10
made me
years
want
too
to watch
late.
it. Yeah, why? Why?
Like we did
It
that
feels very
already.
We already did this 15 times.
It feels like Resident Evil meets Suicide Squad. That's what that trailer was kind of like going off. Like the
Yeah.
neon sign text. Like
It
Yeah.
wanted kind of Zombieland vibes, but then it wasn't funny, and it was like, oh, this
See,
is
that's the
clearly taking itself very seriously, so it's not
I was
Zombieland.
gonna use the Zombieland as like Shaun of the Dead was the first time that it was like, ooh, a zombie movie done in a different way.
Yeah.
And then there was still a bunch of like, just a bunch of zombie movies that were done kind of the same way, maybe a little different. And then Zombieland came out and it was like, okay, cool, we can still figure out a way to make zombies
Yeah.
fresh and kind of fun and exciting. And then it's like, but this isn't a new way forward.
it's
This
like
is the
World
same
War
shit we've
Z,
seen.
but has an
But World War
action
Z
director
looked
again.
good.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was
I
good.
watched
Yeah.
World War. I'm not really
It was
into
good.
zombie movies, but World War Z, I was like, oh, I will go see that.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a plot.
There's
that was like
nothing
that.
about this trailer that I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch it because of this reason. It was just like, no, I'm good.
Okay, you would grade it. You grade this trailer A.
A no.
From like an F to an A.
a hard no.
It's an F to me, I guess.
I'm gonna grade it a no as well, Emily.
Yeah.
From F to an A. Graded a no.
No.
All right, let's
don't
move
know,
on.
but
Let's move
no.
on to our main topic.
An
of
F
the day.
implies that there's improvement available to it.
Right. No,
No.
you're not even gonna
No.
grade it. You're just
gonna knock it
I
off
was
the
gonna push it off
table.
the desk.
Yeah.
no.
All right, we're doing WandaVision 7 and 8.
Yes.
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
We already did 7.
Yeah, it feels like deja vu. We already
I
talked
know,
about
like,
7.
Oh, fuck. Okay, let's condense what we talked about last time.
I'm just gonna put my audio up.
You gotta cut it.
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
intersplice
I like
it.
this episode a
The
lot.
main thing was that they kind of made it like Modern Family-esque, which they did a really fucking good job at.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went on a riff about how Modern Family only exists because of The Office and like that documentary style programming where zoom, bigger zoom,
Look
maybe,
into the camera.
maybe a little tiny bit of a zoom
Yeah.
after that.
Breaking the fourth wall.
that- that, like, zoom,
it's,
zoom,
it's
zoom.
a it's a
Interview
mockumentary.
segments.
It's
Yeah.
a TV mockumentary. Yeah.
Just like the wide to a close to like a little bit closer over and over and over and over
Right.
again. They fucking nailed that. Like
They did.
And they, like we've said a bunch of times on the show, they have nailed every genre that they've done. They
Yeah.
just fucking
Yeah.
nailed it. They hit it on the head. And not to press forward too much, but in the next episode 8 where they're showing the actual
Don't press forward.
DVDs,
Don't-
it ties together.
Okay.
I like how like the shows that we have talked about on this show that they're mimicking
Right.
are literally right there in the DVD set. Like,
Yeah.
I Love
Yeah.
Lucy and
Right.
Bewitched and like
Dick Van
or,
Dyke
like,
Show. And
yeah,
Malcolm in the
yeah,
Middle
yeah,
was in
yeah.
there
yeah,
too.
Malcolm in the
Yeah.
Middle. Like
Yeah.
these are the shows that us as modern observers are watching it going, oh yeah, those are the shows that I would have thought they looked at to
Right.
make
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. I loved how the intro was basically The Office.
It was
theme
The
song.
Office. Yeah.
They changed enough notes. Well, they used the same mode that WandaVision is used for every single one of these, but it was you could have played the Office theme song over the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, it's just The Office.
Oh wait, shit.
Didn't do that right.
there's
Senor
more Office
Scratchy
shit,
makes his triumphant return.
He makes his return.
It's very exciting. We're
I feel
really
like-
happy to have him back.
And he's just in the show now.
I feel like
Oh.
Senor Scratchy is going to turn into a cat.
I would be okay with that, but I would also kind of like if he just stayed a
Me
bunny.
too. Me too. But
I'd be
Fucking
bunny.
pissed if he turned into a cat.
Agatha Harkness has a cat, and she does. She transmutes things into different things. So
it's a bunny.
Yeah.
okay, I would love. Dude, I love bunnies. Trust me.
Yeah.
So
You sound like you don't like bunnies.
He used to,
Oh,
he
I'm
used to have a bunny
anti-bunny.
roommate.
You guys, if you're
Yeah.
watching, leave a comment whether you like cats or bunnies.
my
better.
former roommate was a bunny.
The correct answer is
Thank you very
both.
much. His name was Murphy.
true.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a true story.
Murphy.
Murphy. I do miss Murphy.
Murph. Oh.
Here's a picture of Murphy right here.
Just here, right here.
Just here, right here.
Just here, right here.
He was such a sweet boy.
He is a very sweet bull. Let's just go. We're going to episode 8 now.
Yeah,
because-
let's
Yeah.
just we're doing a review on both. Let's
Okay.
transition as much as we want.
Yeah, I liked her motivation for pulling the strings and being in the series. Like, she's a witch. She's been a witch all along.
All along.
And
She also sang
and
that
she
theme song.
saw this incredible thing that happened and was like, how the fuck? I'm supposed to be the most powerful witch in this fucking world. And she's just kind of hiding in the shadows, or she's just being a human being, and she's also a witch, you know. And she comes in, she's jealous. She's a jealous
Yeah.
bitch. She's like,
Yeah.
how did you do this? Like, it's a great motivation. I we're theorizing how Agatha or whoever, why would they be
What's her
pulling?
motive?
What's their
Yeah.
motive? Like,
Yeah.
and it was really hard for me to even like theorize on why this could be happening. Like, why, like the Yo Magic commercial, feeding off Yo Magic. If you saw in the beginning of this episode where she was feeding off other witches' magic.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like where this series is going, and I really like Agatha's character and her motivation.
I liked the de-aging she had at the very beginning of episode 8 was nice and subtle.
It was subtle.
They just
enough,
gave
but
her
they
like they
nailed
just like little like tight little
Yeah.
facelift.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Marvel's really good at that.
They're getting
Yeah,
like
that was
Much
like,
better than
exponentially better
much
with
better
every
than
time.
Star
That's
Wars.
not something that I would typically pay attention to or notice as much as you. Mm-hmm. But when we were watching, I was like, "Oh shit, they did a really good job at that."
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
For a
It didn't-
TV
it didn't-
show.
So realistic.
It
a
helps
TV
that
show.
the scene was in the dark because sometimes it can
That's
look a
true.
little like gummy and wobbly, like an Ant-Man sometimes.
Paul Rudd.
No, the other one, the older one,
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. Yeah, he sometimes looks like an Ant-Man 1. He sometimes like he turns his head and it's like some of his skin travels along, like
Right.
just like a half a millisecond
Yeah.
behind him.
Well, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. Well, I think back to fucking Tron Legacy when they de-aged Jeff Bridges.
Right,
like,
right.
ugh,
That was yeah.
that was a decade ago. Over a
And
decade
I
ago.
thought that looked great at the time.
Same.
And now you look
yes.
back at it, you're like, this
Ah.
is bad.
It's
capital
just
B.
old. It's not bad. It's just
It's
old.
bad. Yeah.
But yeah, I
They
liked
did a great
This
job.
is, I mean,
Subtle.
this was the darkest episode of the series by far. It's the first one without like we kept talking about how this show has been really good about pulling back in comedic threads. No matter what, there's always been like a really good comedic quality. This was the first episode that did not hammer on the comedic sense nearly as much as any other episode. There was no stylistic quality to pin it to a decade. This was like, okay, we're in real time. We're not doing any kitschy shit anymore.
Well,
Like,
it's,
now we're into the plot.
well, like what Agatha said, where she's like, okay, now let's watch some real reruns.
Yeah,
Right.
And
that
you
line
get-
is
Love
so
that
good.
line.
You get kind of a little clip show history
Yeah.
of Wanda,
Yeah,
Which is great because she
some
is
of which we've seen before and some of which we haven't seen before.
no, yeah,
some
that
of
was a
which-
really
Boo.
Did you do that on purpose? Clearly not, because she has a look of
like she's
disgust.
pissed.
Very pissed. Anyway,
I
I like how she says. I like how Catherine Hahn says, "I tried to be gentle." Because like we're watching, the show did a really good job of teaching you that Catherine Hahn's character is not the same as everyone else. Like we learned that from episode 1 or 2, that like, okay, what the fuck? Like when she's talking to what's his name, Herb.
Right,
Herb. Over the fence, like
Fern.
Fern. They give you these moments where, like, even really, really early on, you realize, okay, Catherine Hahn is not in like the way the rest of the. Like, oh, do you want me to take that again? Like those moments where you're like, okay, what is it though? Like, what is it?
Right.
And now we obviously, clearly, we know now. But she's like, I tried to be gentle. I love that line where she's like, I tried to be gentle with you.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I love this show because Wanda Maximoff is such a B character in the whole Avengers trilogy that's been happening.
Yeah.
She hasn't really gotten her time to shine. This is her fucking time to shine. We get her backstory. We get to see her parents, how they died, which is pretty fucking brutal. Like,
also,
it's like her parents were creating this safe haven of like, there's war going on literally outside of our bedroom window, but let's pretend like she's doing right now in her little bubble. We'll have our own bubble and we'll just watch this. And I thought that was very fourth wall breaking because audiences, mainly families who are watching this with their own kids, are watching Wanda watch like a series with her family, and you get to see the love and joy that she's having with her family. We're family, and we watch it together, and I felt that love and connection just through watching a shared experience.
Yeah.
And when they blew up, it's like it hits home harder. It was very.
You know what made it hit home
clever.
Less hard? The fact that everything blew up, her parents are literally fucking dead, and the TV still works in the middle of the room.
Right.
That kind of pissed me off a little bit.
That pissed you off?
That could have been her magic.
It fucking pulled me out of it, to be honest. It pulled me out. I'm like,
it could have been her. Like, okay, hold on.
Come on.
There is definitely, if she wasn't, and we have to get to this point, Wanda was using magic in that room when she was a child.
Yeah.
She
This
should
was
have
before
kept
the
her parents
experiment.
alive rather than keeping
But hold
the
on,
TV
this is
plugged
very
in.
important. It was before the experiment happened, which means that she had dormant witch powers to begin with.
Yep.
And that's where Agatha she's trying to get to the bottom of why Wanda is so fucking powerful. And I know it goes into mutants, X-Men. Is that what you're trying to get to?
No.
I'm just stoked at how excited Emily is right now.
They used, I think it was Agatha, she used a phrase because like after her parents are blown up, there's another kind of like inactive missile sort of like sitting in the
Stark
room.
Industries missile,
Yeah, Stark Industries missile. And you kind of learn that Wanda sort of kept it from exploding, essentially.
Right.
And Agatha uses the phrase probability hex.
Right.
And that made me so fucking excited because when I was a little kid, I was like in second grade. I had a friend named Alex. Hi, Alex. I know you're not watching. I don't know where the fuck you are.
Hi, Alex.
Alex is actually a huge fan of the show.
He had
Yeah.
a fucking like this thick, like this big encyclopedia of
hexes?
No. Of Marvel characters, or it may have just been X-Men.
Okay.
And I remember we were little kids, and I was like, "Let's play X-Men.
were they
Which one
trading
should I
cards?
be?" No, it was just
I have
like
the binder
like
of
a encyclopedia.
Okay.
And he was like, "You should be Scarlet Witch." And I was like, "I've never heard of her. Who is that?" And he was like, and he's trying to explain her powers. He was like, basically, she can manipulate probability, where it's like you can't make impossible things happen, but you can manipulate the probability so that nearly impossible things happen. I was like, that's cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Which
Shot me back down to fucking second grade. I was so excited when I heard that phrase.
Well, it's funny you said that though, because Agatha at the very end, when she has her two sons by the neck, she goes on and says, "You're supposed to be a myth. I know exactly who you are. You're supposed to be a myth." Apparently, the witches in Salem knew about the Scarlet Witch, and that was just a legend, right? And here
Chaos
she is,
magic.
chaos magic, which is
magic. Yeah. That's
chaos
the
and
main-
probability are very interconnected,
Yeah.
and so. Yeah, I mean, this whole story, like Wanda's story, her powers, it's so enriched by this series. If we didn't get this, she'd just be another character that was just super powerful in the Marvel universe.
She shoots red things out of her hands.
But because we have this 6-hour-long series, we're getting a lot. We're getting a lot of rich detail, like. And that's what's great about these television shows. We get more detail about secondary characters that we wouldn't.
It's the huge
normally
difference
see.
between like what television used to be and what it is now. Right. Like now, not only does it feel like you're watching a movie every week, but you literally tie it into these multi, hundreds, $200, $300 million movies. Like we're just in a different era.
You're saying TV, this is what TV is like now. Only Star Wars and Marvel are really doing this. No other series are really tying together movies and TV with the synergy that Marvel and Star Wars are doing right now.
But I'm saying also like what ushered in this new era of television being like movies. Like it's been happening slowly over the last 10 years. Like Game of Thrones is a great example of like
it's been happening for a little longer than 10 because Sopranos was really like the first like TV can be something different, and then we've only
and Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones was like, oh, this is a crazy money making fucking gold mine, and every single episode is basically a movie,
right?
And it's like and it's huge budgets, and it's epic as fuck, and then people like Disney, Marvel, etc. saw that and were like, oh, we can do that. We can absolutely do that for television. We can also wind it up into one thing that lasts for 20 fucking years or longer that everyone can really sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
They have
we're in that now. We're like really in that now.
Yeah. They have their blockbuster movies, and then they also have the TV shows that integrate into those movies.
Mm-hmm. Well, because what's so good about TV shows, and I especially applaud Disney for being like, no, we're not going to do the Netflix model where we drop the entire season at once, the way that, Stranger Things, that kind of thing. They're like, no, we're going to release them episodically.
Right.
We wouldn't be talking about WandaVision still. If they hadn't released it episode by episode, we'd be like, "Oh, that was fun."
It's the Lost phenomenon.
Fun.
Well, I mean, it's just water cooler
parties.
Well,
we called them Lost parties every week.
Nico and I watched the last season of Game of Thrones like in my shitty little apartment.
We had the tiny TV. She doesn't have a couch, and we're both on our bed
we're
drinking
sitting on the
wine.
bed drinking wine.
Yeah.
The premonition of this show.
It was so fun.
The premonition of this show for sure.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, like, anyway. Go ahead.
But yeah,
I had something really important to say.
Too deep down nostalgia lane.
I think they've just really like got all of our brains right in their fists, where they're like, we know what you like. You like big blockbusters, and you like talking about things, and you like theorizing about things. So let's,
theorizing.
The point came back to my brain. The Punisher was a great TV show that came out on Netflix, but they released the entire season all at once. Mm-hmm. People talked about it for 1 week, and then it was done with. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is,
Daredevil,
Daredevil, whatever.
Jones.
Yeah, name your show that dropped the entire season. I know people like to binge, but the thing is, it's hard to talk about a show when people are on the same page as one another. Like, I binged it all in one night. It's like, oh, I'm going to take 2 weeks to watch this. People aren't interacting with each other as much when it's like, I don't want to spoil it, this, whatever. And you're not dragging it on where like it intensifies. WandaVision was like the 30th most watched show when it first started in the first week to 2 weeks, and now it's the #1 show.
Now it's crashing the app.
It just every episode people are talking about it. They want to like, oh, what are you talking about, Wanda? Like, I want to get in on this.
Yeah,
and it's not just cinema. Like you can liken that to the music industry too. Like for example. Yeah, huge artists like Beyonce can drop an album overnight and it blows the fuck up. And that blip, when it all blows the fuck up, is a higher blip than you typically get when you release a single after a single for a year. But that huge blip also has a huge drop. And what we've learned in the music industry is that a lot of artists now, like a bunch of fucking artists are doing this. They release a song 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months later, release a song. They just drop a single over and over and over again,
building up anticipation for the album.
Until that's basically a body of work in itself. Like they've released 10 singles that have all gotten their own time, like their own time on playlisting, their own body. It's like each song is its own body of work, and then they'll be like, okay, cool, we're putting this on a vinyl, and it's like that becomes an album, even though it wasn't this conceptualized album the way that we grew up with music.
Sure.
All of a sudden now these conceptualized albums are kind of thrown together because we've thrown together a bunch of singles that were relatively successful. And in some ways, I think that's really fucking cool that we're like, the game has changed and every song gets its own time, because as a musician who's released albums, it sucks that these songs that you feel like really, really should be singles because of whatever reason aren't, and they don't get their time of day. So I get why as an artist, it can be really fulfilling to have each song have its own time, but also as a musician, I also want those to be bodies of work that are like a conceptualized body of work is really,
I think,
really cool too. I don't, not that there's a right answer. It's like whatever works for you.
I think kind of the difference with TV, especially in like today's TV landscape, is like I didn't watch The Punisher, and I didn't watch season 3, I think, of Daredevil because it came out.
Me
I
either.
was busy and I was like, I don't want to be spoiled, so I won't watch anything about it. And then it's like I missed it. I essentially if I start watching it now, I'm
missed
gonna have
the train.
I
You
missed the train. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. And
Yep.
and then those got canceled and
That was me with Stranger Things. I never got to see Stranger Things season 2 because it came and I just
season 2 was meh. Season 3 is great though.
I didn't even know they had a season 3.
Yeah,
I just
season 3 's
completely missed out on the Stranger Things train
Yeah.
because I just as soon as it left and
They're all
everyone was
good.
talking about it, I just completely was like, well, I missed that one.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the next train? Was Punisher?
But the
Yeah.
thing about Netflix is you can watch all 3 seasons right now.
You can, but the thing
up.
is,
Totally,
it's
but-
not as exciting to watch it when all the buzz about it has left and you just kind of
Sure.
You don't get weekly memes like you did with Game of Thrones. That was my
Sure.
My
favorite
favorite thing-
thing. The next
well-
morning was to Google Game of Thrones memes.
right.
Yeah, because you always send them to the group chat.
Yeah.
And like we're doing here, I like discussing TV shows with
Yeah.
my friends, and when they're all discussing something that I can't relate to, it's like,
It can be overwhelming to catch up when it's
Yeah.
like 3 seasons
Yeah.
of an hour-long
right.
program.
Yeah.
Our
Season 8,
producer
episode 8.
had a very good question at one point
What's his
during
name?
episode 8. Our producer Ryan, he just goes, "Why is she driving a Buick?"
Right. I said the exact same thing when I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh my god. No. You know what he said?
How much did Buick pay for that?
No. He said, who sponsored this? And I was like, Buick.
It was a Buick. I wrote that down too.
Verano?
Yeah, a Buick
She
Verano.
would not drive a Buick.
She
Not on an Avengers
This
salary.
chick's an
Are you fucking
Avenger.
kidding me?
Do they have salary? Do you think the Avengers have a salary?
They're obviously
They're private.
They're obviously doing fine.
With the Soviet,
Whatever's happening with
the
them,
Sokovia Accords must have really dropped their fucking.
Whatever's happening with them, they're
As a
doing fine.
costuming and sewing fan, their costumes are very expensive. Clearly made from very
Well,
expensive materials.
because Tony Stark was the one who commissioned, who made
Yeah,
most
but
of their outfits.
he's dead. Spoiler alert. So I'm sure he bequeathed some of his money to the Avengers salary. Yeah, bequeathed. What are you,
Bequeathed.
12? Jesus.
That's bequeathed.
yeah, Buick paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Buick
Yeah.
bequeathed a lot of money.
Buick
for that
is in this
spot.
position where they're trying to make their cars cool
Who
because
is-
they're like, oh, all of our main buyers are dying off. We
Yeah, when
gotta
I think
get
of a
with the young
Buick, I think
kids.
of my grandma. She had a silver Buick.
Right,
It was,
but they're
it was
targeting younger
awful.
people right now because they don't want a customer base that are dying off. They want the young.
my grandma's
cool
car was
fucking
one of them where you
kids.
get in and you close the door and then the seatbelt goes
Yeah.
like up across the ceiling. And I'm like, is that supposed to be fancy? That's fucking annoying. Like, just let me pull it and clip it myself.
Yeah.
Buick might as
I
well
thought the
be
exact same thing.
Oldsmobile, which is probably one of the worst names for a car
Yeah.
of all time.
Like Lincoln now has a makeover because Matthew McConaughey is their spokesman.
Lincolns
You
are
know?
fucking
Lincoln.
cool. They've actually
Are
been cool
they?
for like 20 years. And Lincoln Navigators were dope. They were fucking rap
Yeah,
songs.
Navigators were a very popular.
Yeah.
car. But they used to be like, yeah, and now it's
Yeah.
like
Lincoln.
Lincoln Navigator headed straight to your spot.
I don't know. I'm a Subaru gal.
If you wanna
I'm a
get out,
Jeep.
get out to the.
I'm a Mazda.
desert.
I'm a Mazda man.
Well, I
Find
mean,
your
I
way
drive a
back to
Jeep,
your
but I
huge house.
covet a Subaru
I drive a Jeep. But my spirit
Lincoln.
is a Subaru.
Yeah, because I'm half gay.
Yeah.
I think my only other point to this is Olsen and Han both acted their asses off.
Oh my god.
The more the series goes on, like both of them just.
And like
I mean, Han finally gets a chance to shine because she's
Right.
not just like comedic relief. She's
Right.
the comedic relief still. Like she was literally
She's
the only comedic relief in that
every-
episode.
she's casted so well in this, and part of the reason why I was feeling that Agatha Harkness was a thing is because why would you cast Catherine Hahn just to be a side character? But at the same time, like she's not a huge name in the
I've
industry.
never seen
but
her act dramatically. I've only seen her in comedic roles. So it
Yeah.
made sense that they were casting her in a comedic role. But now, like, she is being asked to act pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
I remember when
she
she-
killed her mom.
She's
in
asked
that
to do a
fucking
lot.
scene.
Yeah.
When she was announced, like at D23, I remember being like, "Oh shit, I love her. That's a really good get for their show that
Yeah.
they're doing it." And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, they know how good
They
of
nailed
a get.
it.
Right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
nailed
Yeah.
it.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love her.
mean,
I love her so
the
much.
casting, Kat Dennings. I mean, the whole announcement when we were there at D23 was so bizarre. It was like Kat Dennings is back, Jimmy Cho is back, and
Jimmy Woo.
Fuck.
Randall Park. Remember, we had a shop bet about it. Randall Park.
Randall Park is his name. But it just seemed like such a weird idea, and they gave us that sizzle reel that was just a weird montage of the vibe of what the show's going to be.
Yeah.
And we were both like, what the fuck?
I was
is
like,
this?
I'm in, but what?
I'm in, but
Marvel's getting weird,
all right.
and I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we're getting it now, and it's everything that it should have been,
Everything that I
and
wanted.
more,
Yes.
and more.
Yep.
Oh, and we have
More.
the post-credit scene.
Oh my god. Okay, so hold on. So Vision for me has always been white or gray, because
Iceman.
when I grew up as a kid, I had a Sega Genesis, and there's a Sega Genesis game called Captain America and the Avengers, and you have a choice to play 4 different characters. It was one of those like side-scrolly punchers, just like Ninja Turtles or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You have Captain America, which I always played as, Hawkeye, which was my second favorite, and then you had Iron Man and Vision. I hated both Iron Man and Vision in that game
Because Iron Man at that time was like hella
he was
clunky
lame,
and
yeah. And then Vision was just like this white. He was all white, just like you see him at the end of this episode.
Weird.
And so I think it was maybe because graphically it was probably easier to animate all white.
I mean, if that was
Vision,
was
but
that like the early
1993,
90s? Yeah.
but like for me, Vision was always all white. And so when I realized that mainly he had color, he was
Pink.
pink, and green. I was like, weird. That's not the Vision that I know as like a person who loved this game. And to see him actualize in
Gray
real life now as
Vision.
Gray Vision, I'm like, this is the one I know. You know, like this is my Vision. But he's
Yeah.
gonna be a fucking antagonist probably, which is
Well,
cool.
isn't he kind
Probably.
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 I think he might be bad.
I would
Yeah.
assume.
Might be a bad guy.
He's hanging out with Haywood, so
Biggest
you know.
douchebag in the world is
Yeah.
bringing him to life.
Yeah,
so-
right.
And calling him a weapon.
And he's a liar too, because he
Oh,
was
also,
saying
yeah.
that Wanda stole Vision, and
she didn't. She just manifested her own vision.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Using
Oh
because
my
Vision.
God.
Hold on,
God, Mr. Carter.
Vision. His whole reality was because of the Mind Stone, right? And she got her powers with the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
So she's in love with herself, basically.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? It's very.
She's in love with this weird subconscious version of the person she's in love
I mean,
with.
yeah, like she's definitely in love with Vision, and
But it's crazy that like it's like she's able to separate her subconscious creation from her own conscious thought.
Right, because
That's such a
that
cool
Vision is
element of
questioning
the
this
show.
whole world that he's living
Yeah,
in.
even the vision that she has created from her subconscious thought is so detached from her
Right.
that he's starting to put it together and see her as an antagonist.
See, I
Right.
kind of thought of it as though like she knows Vision so well, and she was so in love with him that she, like, it's not. Like I feel like she just like literally kind of recreated him using her powers. It's not necessarily that he is connected to her mind necessarily, because we see that he's not directly connected to her mind the way that a lot of other characters are.
But that moment in the show when he says like, "Well, you can't control me," and she goes, "Can't I?"
Right.
Do you remember that moment?
No, I don't remember that.
I
that
do.
was in like episode 3 or
Six.
something.
No, it was like
so
6.
long ago.
Was it that later?
It was like 5 or 6 when they
Okay.
like were having a confrontation.
They were having it was the first episode that Vision started to
Yeah.
separate.
and they had
And
an
he's
argument.
Like, oh, well,
It
you
was-
can't control me, and she's like, "Can't,
Can't
I?"
I? Yeah.
And I think that was the end of that conversation.
Because I
actually.
think I think Agatha interrupted them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I wonder what the fuck this Vision's about to do, though. Is he going to enter the hex? Can he enter the hex? This new Vision?
He about to fuck.
More-
Oh yeah,
shit
because he's
up.
powered by her own power.
He is about to fuck shit.
Are we going to see Vision versus Vision?
Probably.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Where the fuck is Vision?
How else is that gonna end?
We didn't see. Hold on, we didn't see Monica Rambeau or Vision in this entire episode,
Or Kat Dennings.
Didn't realize that till right now.
or Quicksilver.
Didn't see anybody.
I think that maybe that's
Just
why.
the Goyles.
I think last episode, the one that didn't air at all, for us, our episode.
Yeah.
I
It
questioned.
was
Last
way
episode.
better than
I
this one, by the
questioned
way.
the ending credit scene. Like, why would they include that when that could clearly be in the next episode? It's because they weren't even written in this episode at all. They had to include the fact that Monica Rambeau got captured. Otherwise, the last time you saw her, she was running towards the house like she's going to rescue somebody. And then if you don't see her for a whole episode, it'd be
Yeah.
a little weird. So
And it would have been weird to put that at the end of the episode right after she's running towards it too. It would have been like a weird cut. So they go, okay, well, put it
Post
after the
credits.
credit scene.
Yeah.
And that way, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. These writers are better than us, man.
a lot
You know,
of
they
strategic.
know more than us.
Yeah.
We're in the maze, and they're just kind of like feeding us
Yeah,
little
we're just
pieces
gonna
of
cut
cheese.
this hole
Yeah.
in the maze, and you're not gonna see it coming.
Anyway, I would grade this one from F to A yes.
Yes.
I'll grade it a 2 thumbs up.
So we got a yes, we got an A.
And a 2 thumbs up.
Sick.
I love our rating system.
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
good.
It's a very.
Excellent.
It's still developing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we got it pretty
No,
down.
we got
Our
smiley
producer
faces still.
keeps hiccuping over there. Can you fucking stop, please?
You can't hear it. All right. Actually, we should wrap it up. I think we've
So this
gone
is
to the
basically
hour
the end of
mark.
the episode. We're actually going to do another episode based off of the movie Nomadland.
Right.
So our next award season pick.
Click, subscribe,
Look at it.
watch that episode here. Watch other episodes
Please
here.
subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because we're trying to make it to that 100 subscriber mark before August 17th.
Before June 26th.
You can wait until December 14th.
Okay. Wow.
Leave
Wow.
a comment though. Leave a comment. Make the cocktails. Leave a comment about literally. I
Make
think
the cocktail.
criticize us. I don't care.
For real?
You know what? Roast me.
This cocktail was great, for real.
I'm glad.
But if they
I'll make
burn-
us another one when we talk about Nomadland.
But do not sue us if you burn your finger on that fucking match thing.
If you're
Disclaimer.
I'm as we know because I injured my toe a couple episodes ago. I'm a very clumsy person, so we have many bloopers of me trying to flame the fucking lemon.
Oh, they'll get
rind.
shown.
Yeah.
They're being shown right now. As
So
we're
if
talking.
you
Yeah.
if you if you
Links
relate
right
to
here.
me a lot and you're like, oh, I'm clumsy like that too, maybe don't. Just skip that. It's just for funsies. It's just because it's fun on the camera. But
All right. This is the longest outro of all time. See you later, folks.
It's good. People want the bullshit.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye. I love you.